this track, you could be on the road driving for hours on end, just lose yourself. Like around this corner, you get the opportunity, just let it go, just let it open. And that is why the appeal is still to this day.
G'day all. So as a holiday treat, I decided to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the 2000 remake of Gone in 60 Seconds by taking out for a drive a 1967 GT500 tribute car, which I was able to do thanks to the help from the guys at Car Chase Heroes. I thought I'd film myself driving it and explain a bit of the history of the GT500 from the movie and its relation to other films, and just discuss the car in general and share some of my opinions about it, and share the overall experience of what it feels like to get behind the wheel of such an iconic looking movie car. Hope you guys enjoy. Cheers.
So here we are with the GT500 tribute to Gone in 60 Seconds, the 2000. It's the 20th anniversary of this year, and here we are now out on the track giving this tribute car a bit of a race. Now initially the GT500s, the 67 GT500s, they came out with 428s, and although back in the day they came out with now 355 horsepower, again impressive for the 60s, it was a big block 7-litre V8. It was the car that initially, it was the step up from the GT350, where Shelby had initially decided for the newly designed Mustang in 67 to give a more step up in the engine. With the GT500 being the 428, there was also the other, the 427. Now the car didn't come out with that, only one 500 did come out with the 427. But what people did back in the day is they'd go to the dealership, and after they either thrashed the 428 or they would basically decided, you know what, I wanted to change over. Now the 427 was more of a racing engine, but it was very heavy on the oil, like it chewed up. It wasn't common for daily driving. But back then a lot of people used it for dragging, racing, and so forth. Now with the movie, initially the original 1974 movie had a Mach 1, 351 Mustang. Now with the remake in 2000, they decided to change the car to the replica of the GT500. They obtained 11 Fastback Mustangs as their base point. Although most of them were just for like interior shots and so forth, 3 of the main cars were used. Now their engines varied. They had I think the main hero car that was used was a 351. Now that sold at auction back in 2013 for about $1 million. Another one had been eventually picked up and taken to Germany. Now it has been said, 1 or 2 of the cars had come with the 428, just like the GT500s. But again, that's not necessarily confirmed to that regard. But like I said, the 351 was used and was the one that was sold. That was the main hero car that Nicolas Cage drove. This tribute car is a 302 V8. This one has got like 440 horsepower, and it really handles very nicely. Again, these are the old 60s V8s, so they've got that heavy feel to it. But with the power that it offers, as soon as you put your foot on the gas, you've got that nice power just wanting to come out. So the guys at Car Chase Heroes have been generous enough to let me drive this today, to take it out and to celebrate the 20th anniversary of this beautiful piece of history, of movie car chase history. So the guys at Cinema Vehicle Services obtained about 11 Fastback Mustangs, 67, 68s, and based off the design of Steve Stanford, they basically came up with the concept that we've got here now, which is a bit of a unique hybrid to the GT500. It's close to what the original GT500s were, But again, it's got the modifications. The scoop on the bonnet's been taken away. The spoiler's been changed. Got some rearrangement for that. And again, with this car and the 2000 remake of Gone in 60 Seconds, this basically outlasted the movie itself. Now the movie, again, it was lackluster, it had its moments, but it wasn't what people were hoping for. It wasn't what Touchstone Pictures were hoping for. Jerry Bruckheimer and so forth put a lot of effort into it. With the budget of 90 million, internationally it made about 135 million. Domestically in the US, it made about 101. And it's just one of those films where like eventually it just faded away. It just didn't stay around, but the car itself was that one aspect that a lot of people fell in love with. It's that one aspect of the movie where so many people that's the one thing they remember. And now that it's been 20 years since, the car has not lost any of its popularity in that respect. There are a lot of people who still adore the car, who still love it. They get tattoos of it, anything they can. And that's the one good thing about these cars is the old Mustangs and the old muscle cars of that era, the 60s era, always have that great appeal on screen. Be it from the time that Steve McQueen drove a 68 Mustang and Bullitt. But these older Mustangs have always had that appeal. Just getting behind the wheel of one and just enjoying the feel of it so much is a much more surreal feeling than, say, the modern car with the traction control. As much as the new cars can get like some crazy numbers like 700 plus horsepower just from the factory, just from stock. But as some people have pointed out, just to take these cars out and enjoy them and take them for a spin, you can see why they still have that appeal. Those older cars, those 1960s muscle cars, those to some degree late 70s, like maybe the Trans Ams, but these cars always remain with that appeal. And that's the one thing that people love watching all these old car chase movies. Vanishing Point, Gone in 60 Seconds, Smoking the Bandit, all those films. Now, when they opted to go for this option of the GT500, it hadn't really featured much in pretty much any real film at that stage. Jim Morrison famously had shown his in a film that he directed, his own actually GT500, that was given as a gift to him by a record producer when Light My Fire became a real big hit. He gave them, because of the band, they decided to give him a bit of a present. He said, okay, a bit of gift, what would you like? Everyone opted their own thing. Jim Morrison more or less went for, he said, I want GT500, which he got, this nice beautiful blue car, which apparently he thrashed the hell out of. The GT500 never really popped up again much in any other kind of context in film, like it was never that. When the 2000 film came out, critics had panned it at the time as being basically lackluster, nothing really worth nothing worth mentioning. But again, the car itself has since gone on to live on past the film. And now it's been 20 years since that film has come out, and that car is still a fan favorite. It is a favorite among fans just as much as any other like car chase movie would be in terms like that respect. For me, I always thought Mustang had actually got it right in 67, 68 when this car came out. The 66 model was still nice, the Fastback was still nice, but it was a bit more squarish. Where in 67 they really got the curves down. They got the nice curve for the Fastback at the back. They got the styling perfectly. And I think come 69 is when they started to lose a bit of their appeal in that sense. They were still nice, still beautiful cars. But come 70, I think is when they went too far. And even to today, when I took this car out, although it's not a 428 like the original GT500, the 67 GT500s, this one here has a 302 V8. Now, taking it on the track today, it was really, I must say, it was quite enjoyable, and I have a newfound respect for the stunt drivers of that era, of the 1960s and 70s, because what they had to deal with, like this was the best, more or less, some of the best available at the time options. But you just got to take your hat off to the stunt drivers of the time, because the way they drove these cars and the way they brought them to life on screen, hats off to them. So I must say, after driving it today, I really enjoyed myself, and any opportunity to ever get to drive it again, I recommend it. It's just one of those experiences where you do enjoy, where you get behind the wheel of one of these, where you feel that, that's the thing about these old muscle cars and why they're still appealing, and why some of these, like a genuine like GT500, from 67 GT500, can go from 70,000, like a barn find 70,000 to 200,000 plus. It all depends what people are willing to pay for it. Now, some people will have it in their garages, they'll have it locked up, and justifiably given the price they are. And there are some people who recently, who still discover them, who'd love to take them out. And one person in particular has said, like, these cars are made for driving. And I must say, I have to agree with that. These cars are just made for driving. And if you have the opportunity, I highly recommend it. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope to bring you more content like this in the future. And I'll see you in the next video. Cheers. Bye.
Special shout out to Tom and Car Chase Heroes for the chance I got to drive this GT500 tribute car and to film myself doing so. If you would like to have a similar driving experience as the other film and TV based cars to choose from, along with other racing and sports vehicles on offer, please visit Car Chase Heroes at the link in the description below to arrange for a driving session of your own, as they offer a number of different experiences in different locations across the UK. Thank you for watching, and feel free to like and subscribe and to hit the notification bell icon, as your support is what helps this channel grow and to bring you more content such as this one.